Welcome to my podcast. Welcome back. Thank you so much for listening once again. Man, this is the Joyful Podcast. It is a raw journal of the mindful revolution that we are experiencing right now. And I am the host and sometimes co-host if I get somebody else on with me. But today it's just me. My name is Ethan Edward Sherritt. My life is changing and in so many ways. My focus, my foundation, my grounding, my direction. I still look like the same guy. I still talk the same. There's a few components of this podcast which I should lay out for you again. One of them is describing what's going on with my life, what has been transpiring since the last time I checked in. And another component is what's going on in the news that I think is relevant to share, to propel this movement, this revolution, as I call it, that's happening. And it's sure picking up steam. So I have some cool things to share with you today. Not only just like news articles, but even like some events if you happen to live in certain areas. And the third thing is I am in the middle of doing a journey through the chakras and describing how that is to me. And I haven't gone to the fourth chakra. I've explained the first three and my experience with that so far, but I haven't gone to the fourth one. So I won't be going into the fourth one today. Maybe I'll just review a little bit about those at some point. But first things first. All right? First things first. Little beat. And Friday, last weekend, I think I'd got an interview done, but I did not publish anything, even though my ambition is Tuesdays and Fridays to give something to this platform. Friday was my last day working at this job that I've been at for about 3.5 years, and today was like kind of an official end to that because I was able to give back like all the keys for all the real estate properties that I manage and give back my work phone and like basically close down my emails that come to me, So from now on, all these people that need things that I used to take care of, all day long, every day, this is like the first day when nothing is coming to me at all that I have to be responsible for work. So this is the beginning of this sabbatical and this journey that I'm taking. And it is so, it's almost even hard for me to even settle on because I've just, like, I'm used to, if I get a moment, if Jack goes to sleep, there's a few things that I've been like holding on in my brain that somebody's depending on, that I'm like, all right, when am I going to do that? How do I optimize that with our little crew? How do I make that happen and coordinate? So, dang, I guess the mind is going to sabbatical mode and still transition mode. And the other part of that transition is, things are still being sold and thrown away at an alarming rate. I'm getting rid of everything. I'm scanning documents and saving them, as PDFs and not so I don't have like this document, packet that I have to carry around with me everywhere. Except for like the really vital things like identification, obviously. And speaking of that, one of these little like coincidences that happened today is right after I gave my keys to my supervisor and kind of signed off on things, I checked my mailbox and my passport came in, my brand new passport on that same day. So not only did I unanchor from this geographic place, but I also got wings, so to speak, because now my passport, which had been expired, because I hardly ever travel anyway. I haven't gone out of the country in years. But now I am able to. And it just happened at the same time. So as soon as I opened up that mailbox and I saw like the mailings from the U.S. government, I was like, are you serious? On the same day? That is so awesome. So let me, that's some general stuff. I'm going to get into catching you up on how it's going. And I probably sound happy, and I am happy. And I've been doing these staying on point with yoga, tai chi, and a study of the chakras, and a study of just philosophies that can allow you to go forward after a challenging time, and to reassess things, and to, I guess some people say, flip it. You can flip it, flip your negative experience, flip your uh, negative circumstances into something that's not only good, but even better. And that's something that I've just been diving into and trying to share. But I want to step back and say that for anybody for anybody who thinks like, oh, so what? You're just always happy, and you meet like some people who are like, I don't know, a yogi or a Buddhist or a Zenful person overall. I mean, some people don't do any of these things, but they just naturally have this balance that's always served them very well, and they experience a really, really joyful life. My brother Josh is that way. Man, what a guy. My friend Wayne is that way. Really, really just balanced, just pleasurable people. And I'm sure you know people in your life this way. My manager at my old management company, wow, what a ball of light she is. And, I don't hear her going around professing like, I just did yoga and my chakras are great. It's just an outlook that some people have. So you might be thinking like, so if you do these things, and great, you've taken these steps, so great, so permanent happy now? And it does make me question that, because no, there's never a permanently happy. I mean, I am really focused on some awesome positive charges forward that are taking us to a new place in a new way with the new understanding of things. But there are times that negative feelings, like bad memories, bad imagery still comes up. And I wrote this down. I like to kind of wing it when I talk on this thing here, because it feels good to open up that way and just see where we go. But I remember earlier today thinking like, damn, there is pain and memories that I don't think they're going to go away. Maybe the actual pain will get less until it's maybe nothing, until you have some kind of new stimulus for pain, and like later in life or something like that. But the memories, those things are not going to go away. The imagery that you have from like your past life, it's still going to come back, whether it's good times with a past person, or a loved one who's either no longer here or you're no longer together. Because you're in deep with these people. Your life included them. I mean, your unique soul in this life like included this other person. And so many laughs and smiles and experiences and inside jokes and connection, physically, spiritually, everything. Those things are wired into your brain now. And in a moment of 30 minutes into your yoga session or of great breathing and meditation, you're feeling great, and you can make your whole life really feel lined up and fantastic. But, what about when something jerks you awake at 3:30 in the morning, and then you're just like, whoa, what? I used to have a whole different life. What the hell happened? How can this be? And you can't come to grips with it. So I just want you to know that still happens to me sometimes, and it's not as tough as it used to be. At least I know that there is definitely progress that I have made, but I want people to know that that's okay, and I'm not here to pretend that, oh yeah, I've taken this magic pill and now I'm all groovy. It's pretty exciting, and man, damn, I had one of the best days of my life yesterday. which is rare for a Sunday for me, because usually Sunday comes with this, the end of the Sunday approaches, and it's like, oh wow, what did I not get done before this crazy work week is about to kick off again and just plunge me into an abyss of tasks and an unachievable problem solving. Uh, so I think that's basically what I wanted to say, is that it's not all groovy all the time, but there is always something out there to learn and focus on. And not only something, but other people who are willing to just, who have, to me, have been amazing to just say, dude, whatever you want to talk about, I can talk about that too. And they've gone there and they've supported me and given me love and support in so many ways. And they will do it for you too. I will. Shoot, email me, ethan.sharrett@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram or something like that. And I would love to hear a bit about, if you have a question, or you're not sure for some reason or other. I'd be happy to put on my thinking hat and see if I can figure out a way to offer you a good word or two. I'd love to do that, especially now that I am officially away, I guess, between careers right now. What else did I want to say? You guys don't want to just hear me playing a drum for like 20 minutes, do you, Brian? So that's the question about sometimes heartbreak can stay with you, and I don't know if it ever goes away completely. Because what do you do? I mean, there's questions that I have. I mean, having a balanced and aligned chakra doesn't make you somehow have this clear understanding of love again. I guess it could, but there are questions that come up, like, do I love this person? Did I love this person? Or did I love? And it worked with that person. I think that both of those things could happen and should happen. But absolutely, the idea of sharing and love is just so important, that when you get somebody and you give that to them and you receive it from them, then to go away from that, I guess both things are missing, both the person and that feeling, right? So those two things side by side are still there. You're still longing for, like, I had love. I had that, and you also love that person. But now, going forward, you think about both of those things a little bit. So those are some, like, deep questions that sometimes will still remain. And meditating and doing whatever mindful practices you can do allow you to step away from those troubling questions a little bit, and each time you come back to them, hopefully have a more mindful attitude about them. And that's what this is. That's what this is all about, is having a mindful attitude about every aspect of your life and the world. And so many people are doing that it's changing things little by little. And do I have any other updates about that? I guess I still haven't figured out the first destination of where we're going. I mean, I know we're going to head either north or south before we go east, and spend time with folks in Colorado. And we're also going to spend time with some folks in the DC area and in Virginia, the lower part of Virginia too. I'm really looking forward to that road trip. And man, it's a road trip with a toddler. He's doing great. Like, if he can get back from Santa Monica on a Sunday in the afternoon without crying, that's like a stop and go traffic for an hour and a half for us. We'll see. I think he's a little trooper, man. It's gonna be fun. We'll sing a lot of songs on the way and so forth. Um, I'm gonna miss some people here. I'm gonna miss some special people that have really stepped up, especially lately, to make my world just so much better. Just be a light in my life. It's gonna be, you know, tough to miss them, but going forward is also just the motivation and something that we greatly look forward to. So that's where I'm at, and continue to try to share that with you. And I did save some things that I was looking through the news today, and to make you think to show you how much this is picking up steam, and you probably heard it a lot before. I remember one of the early episodes I did. I just said I'm going to just introduce the phrase. Most of you probably know what it is, TM, Transcendental Meditation. But if you haven't, you're going to hear it again soon. TM, like that's how phrases work when they introduce it to you. And then I don't know what phenomenon that is, but you hear it again almost immediately in your life. And little things have been coming up to me like that. A good friend of mine pointed out the word joy kept coming up. And this was just like 2 days ago. And I said, see, there's that word again, joy. I never paid attention so much to it before. And she said, well, you put out there, if you put something out there, sure enough, it's going to come back. The first time I checked my Facebook today, they're like the big, if one of your friends, it's their birthday, that's like I think that's the main thing, like that it'll show, the first thing, it'll be like, hey, it's this guy's birthday, this girl's birthday. It said it's their birthday today, and this friend of mine is wearing a big hat that just said joy on it. I was like, joy, man, there it is again. It just keeps coming back. So look for that word joy and joyful, and remember that joy does have a little pain with it. And a lot of people will tell you that joy isn't joyful if there's not also pain to come and understand joy better with. So I should be grateful for these, some of the moments like I've had the past few nights of a little bit of wondering, how to process some of these memories and images that just come back. They come back. It's not like they're always there, but they are vivid and they come back. So on to the news. What's in the news? I saved a couple of things, and see if you've read some of these articles. Let me go to my gallery, and check out these things I saved. First one is that it was fascinating to me. Like a while ago, I was telling you that, like, even in publications that are typically not holistic minded or hocus pocus stuff like that, like big, like mainstream stuff. It's so mainstream now. This is an article from Business Insider, and this could be two components of this. This could be technique and method, as well as news, because this article from Business Insider from June 2nd, it's some great advice, and it's just like, this is not an article about introducing meditation and mindfulness. This is Business Insider just with the starting assumption that this is already a massively important part of our society. It's just an article about this guy who's offering good advice about meditation. It's not introducing meditation to anyone. And this is in Business Insider now. This author, his name is Chade Meng Tan, and he wrote a book in 2012, and he I guess interviewed with somebody at Business Insider And the title of their article, I think, is, well, I don't know if the title of it, but the first sentence is, "The best meditation tip I've ever heard is this." And it's from Chade Ming Tan. And he said, "Do less than you can." Wow, that's it. Boom. Do less than you can. One of my first interviews that I had was my friend Travis, and he's a guy who meditates for 2 to 3 hours every single morning. And when he said that, I thought like, geez, we're talking sweat. We're talking wrestling with your mind. That's like wrestling a freaking alligator, and a really, really laborious process. But he came to that, through years of practice. And now he's like, dude, yeah, 2 hours I meditate, sometimes three, if it's like all put together throughout the day. Well, this guy says if you're starting out, especially if you're starting out, do much less than you think is difficult. If you are doing one of those mindfulness apps like Calm or Aware, or there's a lot of them now. Headspace. Headspace is one I haven't tried myself, but I've heard is awesome. I really like Calm. I liked Aware at first, but I kind of fell out of love with that. I just stopped. I found myself stop using it. So he says if you are doing a 5-minute one of those or 5 minutes on your own, and it becomes difficult at 5 minutes, then tomorrow just try to do like 4 minutes. And that's brilliant because he is saying you need to make sure it is a joyful process, or else you're not going to latch onto it in your life. You're not going to keep on doing it. If you're like, oh, just like the gym. I've told people before that have been out of going to the gym, and I tell myself all the time that, dude, I know how hard I work out when I work out, or when I'm in the groove of working out. So sometimes knowing how intense that I've been will make me think like, dude, do I have that in me today? I might not even go. I just, then you find one of those excuses like, oh, dang, I couldn't get there today. Well, this is like me saying, you know what, if I get in there and do the easiest thing, ride a stationary bicycle with not much resistance for 20 minutes, my heart rate's gonna have gotten up. I will have exercised, and it's gonna be a process that I actually will like, instead of like wondering if I can get there. And that just really goes along with this. I remember this one guy I work with. He has been trying to get back into the gym, and he told me, and man, he honestly probably has 50 to 70 extra pounds to lose before he'd start, feeling really good. I mean, you feel good the whole way, even if you just are doing it and haven't lost any weight yet. So I don't want to say before he feels good, but I'm just saying, before, like, according to those doctors' charts and stuff like that, before you'd start saying like, I'm in that zone that I don't have much more work to do as far as losing. So that I don't want to say he wouldn't feel good now. But he says, haven't been to the gym in a long time. Yesterday I went and I did pull-ups, chin-ups. Now my back is, really, really sore. And I said, dude, don't. Pull-ups? Really, pull-ups with your freaking body weight. Though that takes such time to get back into the rhythm of. That's the most difficult thing you can do if you've been out of it. Just holding yourself up and grabbing onto that bar and pulling your body weight up. Wow, just even a few of those for me, if I haven't done it in months, is really hard. So I said, dude, don't just get in there and do something super easy for 20 minutes. And I bet that you'll go back again the following day. That, and your muscles won't hurt like crazy. So same type of thing. And that's from Business Insider. That article was just like, they need content, and that's a great article that they put on there about a mindful practice and a tip for business people. He said, so you might find yourself. Another thing he says, you're going to start being mindful throughout the day on other things. And that's one of the goals is, sitting there, like drinking a glass of water. Take time to notice what you're doing and see if you can have a joyful glass of water. And this is the best thing that he said, and I'm going to try to do this right here. He says, is it this one? Oh, secretly, when you pass someone, or when you think of somebody, or you notice, just anybody you notice, secretly wish for them to be happy, to find something happy. And, do it in secret. I hope that guy has a happy day. And he says that's going to start making you feel happy. Sounds too easy, but maybe you can try that. I hope that person's happy. I saw a guy today. I'm walking around with Jack outside, out coming back from the park, and the guy had his window down in his car and is driving by, and maybe I think what happened is like happens millions of times, a day. Somebody has their blinker on and they're gonna turn left, so you don't go, and then they turn off their blinker and they go straight, and so that guy that was waiting for him to turn left and ended up not, he basically was that guy had to come face to face with the fact that he waited for 3 minutes or for 3 seconds with a guy who didn't end up turning when he should have just gone. So it's like, you held me up for 3 seconds, and I think he said effing moron, and he just had that that freaking traffic face that you get not only in LA but everywhere. But LA, it's just like, I know that guy's not a bad guy and doesn't probably go around calling everybody an effing moron. But it does that to you when you have an urgent place to get to and you can't get there because you're on one of these little side streets that's just so congested. And so me and Jack got to hear on our lovely, walk back to the van from a park. All of a sudden we get to hear effing moron. Jeez. So I didn't know it then, but now I'm hoping that guy has a happy evening, and I'm hoping he listens to this podcast. So, which is like a real pipe dream. That's one of the articles, and since that's Business Insider, obviously it's really funny that that's an article about just a meditative tool. And then right at the bottom, it's Business Insider. It says, get the latest Google stock price by clicking here. So that's funny. Just, business, meditation, and business. And that article is by Shana Leibowitz from June 2nd, Business Insider. This next one is really awesome, really fascinating. And it is that film director David Lynch. Some people who know the guy are usually like, oh my gosh, David Lynch. I don't really know him that much, but I know he's just well respected. He's achieved a lot, and I guess in Hollywood that's the same thing. If you've achieved a lot, you're respected. He is opening, right now, they're building a transcendental meditation facility on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. And he is really focused on spreading. He's been doing transcendental meditation himself, it says, since 2005. And he's doing something that I am absolutely stoked about. One of the reasons that I have gotten attached to continuing my podcast is to share the momentum. And I actually, 3 or 4 episodes in, I named it. I named the podcast that a documentation of this, that's getting huge. People want to share, and I'm definitely right there alongside and saying, man, this is going to change the way that we operate and change the way that we understand each other, treat each other, and he is doing it, change the way the people that he says run our government, make sure they are open to that. So some of the questions that they asked him, is, how has practicing transcendental meditation changed your life, David Lynch? And he said, even more than you could imagine winning a $1 trillion mega jackpot. And I don't think he's exaggerating. He's just saying just immensely, right? And next question is, why has his cause been so important to you? He says, because I know that transcending every day what it has done for me, I would like to see others enjoy the same thing. Cool. Very, very simple, straight to the point. Why did you decide on Capitol Hill as a place to open some of these centers? And he said, we live in an epidemic of trauma and stress, and nowhere is that more apparent than for the dedicated men and women who are working every day to keep our government running. A convenient location to allow these leaders to find out more about meditation and its potential usefulness to address these problems seem both timely and right. So kudos upon you, sir. Kudos upon you. And kudos upon you if you just give that a shot and you try to go to one of these if you live out in that area. And, even if people don't, even if like the guy or girl in the government that you think needs this the most, even if they don't go, it is affecting its energy that's going towards that right around them, right around where they are. So the other people around there, that's how like cultural shifts happen. And that's how revolutions happen. Because a lot of people all around got interested in it. And all of a sudden, boom, it's considered an age that shifts things, like the Renaissance. And, it's a little bit of feelings of grandeur, but I don't think so, just because it's everywhere, that this could be a new Renaissance. It's kind of time. It's kind of time to revolutionize little by little, and it might be a revolution that lasts as long as the Renaissance, which to all of my history buff listeners, you guys know how long that was. I don't know, but you probably do. If not, look it up and let me know. The Renaissance started on this date, and it lasted through this date. That'd be great to know. Now that I'm not working, maybe I'll have a chance to pour some more data like that into this podcast. Anything else? Oh, as kind of a journalist, I'm always when you see a headline that it comes with, this for some reason this screenshot didn't save. I'm having trouble finding it. But this one article that I also got from Quartz today. I've never read anything on Quartz.com, like Quartz, like it's actually QZ.com. They tend to crank out a little bit of clickbait, right? And every kind of news outlet does now. I mean, it's kind of all about clickbait. For Business Insider, it's about like just making sure that their content is there because they have subscribers. But for some of the smaller ones, they look for what's hot, and that's how you can tell something's really big, is because there's somebody comes out on the flip side of it, right? And this article is definitely about that. And I think the title is, here it is. There's a dark side to meditation that no one talks about. Okay, so they wouldn't use that as their clickbait headline if it wasn't like really hot, right? If this wasn't hot, and this is from May 29th, so a week old, or a little over a week maybe, by Lila McClellan. And it's one of those, as a journalist, there's got to be a name for this, about just like the flip side, underbelly appeal of your headline. And that, I'll say it again one more. There's a dark side to meditation that no one talks about. Okay? And then it goes on to say, the first thing she says, we've all heard about the benefits of meditation ad nauseum. Those disciplined enough to practice regularly are rewarded with increased control over their brain waves and stuff like that, and balance. And then it goes on to say that there's a study of like 10,000 of these people who practice mindfulness and meditation, and some of them report feelings of negativity during some of their meditations. Ooh. Yeah, it can release, it can bring things out. But that's just like the middle of the article. And by the end, it really just diffuses the whole drama of the headline by saying like, well, those people who did report negative feelings said that they felt neutral about that feeling. Like they felt okay with having that because in the pursuit of mindfulness, they are aware that negative feelings do happen. So it kind of goes towards what I was saying a little bit. I haven't had an experience where I'm doing any of my meditation practices and I've had the negativity come into me per se. But I don't have, a war-related like PTSD or some catastrophic thing that had to go through, like being bombed or being in some kind of a terrorist attack or anything like that. I just have, personal pain, and that hasn't come to me. It's those things that I was talking about earlier. Those come when I can't sleep, or when I just notice a picture, or when somebody mentions, the holidays or something like that. Or when I see, man, this is a tough thing about when you recently become single again, is when you see like a couple that is like it is happy, is super happy, or like a family. Dude, you're like, that was me. That's supposed to be me. That's me. That's us. And you feel everything from, sometimes I feel like they're freaking doing it on purpose. Like they know, and they're just like, kissing in front of me just so that to laugh at me or something. And I know that's not true, but that's how it kind of feels. And sometimes it's even difficult to greet and hang out with those people as happy as I would just hanging out with with a single person. And that's bad. I'm that's not going to be my permanent state for sure. I'm getting over that. I ran into this guy at the beach that I hadn't seen for like 10 years maybe, and he was a 20-something-year-old Hollywood dude running around and modeling and all of this. Great guy. And now, I haven't seen him since that. It's really funny. I saw him yesterday, and he's got 4 kids now, and he introduced me to this sweet wife of 8 years and their 4 kids. And I was like, dude, really? You who wanted me to go to a modeling party at the Standard or some hip spot like that about 10 years ago, and we went, and I didn't know what to do, and but it was like his element. Now he's got the 4 kids, and he's just doing super well and super happy. And he must have had a little mercy on me, because I said, dude, you seem like you are in heaven right now. What an amazing blessing. Your family, just every single day, you must just be like, oh yes, I love it. And he said, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's hard though, and he laughed, and he asked about Jack and I and what we're doing, and I told him traveling, time off of work for a while in the van, and he said, oh, that seems cool. He said, that seems cool. So the grass is always greener in some capacity, but people, your family grass is green, and even when there are weeds in it, just value that, cherish that family grass, would you? And I'll try to cherish every step of the way along this path. Oh, so is there anything else to discuss? I did a couple of articles. Now I'll invite you to someplace. Do you happen to live in Maryland? In Frederick, Maryland, by any chance? One of the things that highlighted here is just I should do this. I should say if I hear of a meditation course offering, it's not getting any shares or anything, but it's some kind of a press release. Hey, next week, starting June 14th, Wednesday, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. This Buddhist and meditative guide host Jerry Webster is doing a four-week course titled "The Power of Being Present." The four Buddhist my phone keeps turning off. The four Buddhist foundations of mindfulness, and that's at 1 West Church Street, top floor, downtown Frederick, Maryland. So that's cool. I feel like I've actually shared something that's about to happen, and freaking Brian lives in Texas, so he's not going. So I don't know who's actually going to go to this, but at least I shared, and that's one of the things that makes me feel good, is to share. Just share. And play the drum. I gotta sit up a little better to play this thing for you, because if I'm sitting low, you can't really play it. But thank you for listening once again. If you have any suggestions, comments, questions, you would be the first. But you would be appreciated. Ethan.shareit@gmail.com. Did I tell you that this is on iTunes now? So thank you, Podbean, for, kind of allowing me to somehow do the right things that it took to get this on iTunes. And it's on Google Play Podcasts. So you can look for it on iTunes. And oh my gosh, I'm about to request a review on iTunes, like the best podcasts that I always listen to do. That feels kind of legitimizing, but also a little bit premature. And I don't know. I guess everybody's got to have a first comment, right? A first rating or review on iTunes. And so I'm requesting, please, if you hear this and any part of it you think is a good thing to have in the universe, for any reason, if that's all you say, like, hey, I don't listen to this thing that much, it's not that great, but it's a good thing in the universe, and I'm happy. Just say that, All right. Thank you for listening to the Joyful Podcast. I love you.